and welcome to my January 2026 reads. We are tracking them, or I am tracking them a little differently today. Or actually this entire year. I just have such displacency when I put my reads on Goodreads or on Fable. I forget what I've read. I just have no object permanency with it. So when I got my 2026 Hobonichi, this is my first year with the Hobonichi, and I saw that they have a list of 100 things, I decided to dedicate this list to my reads. So I'm just putting the number of the month next to the book that I read, and I'm not really starring them. I'm just going to hopefully do 12 of these, one every month, and talk to you about why I like the book or why I didn't like the book in a way where you won't feel put out if you're interested in the book. You might hear me say like, oh, I didn't like the book because XYZ, but that's something that makes you want to read the book. So let's start. I'm trying to read one physical book a month to try and work through my physical TBR. So for January, that was Lost Souls Meet Under the Full Moon. It is by Mizuki Tsusamara, and if I'm saying somebody's name wrong, please kindly educate me. I don't want to continue to be naive. I would like to learn and grow. This was a monthly pick at Barnes & Noble, and my husband gave me a Barnes & Noble gift card for my birthday back in September, and I saw this at the cash register, and I'm an impulse buyer when it comes to books. What can I say? I really enjoyed the first two books of Tales to the Cafe, and so when I saw this and saw it was of the same genre of the fact that it's not going back into time, but talking to someone who once was lost and reconnecting with them, that is it. So I really enjoy these types of bittersweet novels that really just like rip your heart out and eat it. I don't know, it's just really nice. And the way everything came together at the end, there are 4 or 5 different POVs in the story. Each one's like its own little short story, so it makes like a nice little quick bedtime read type thing where you can put it down and it's done. But that last little tale brought everything together, and it was just so wonderful. This one, yeah, I really, really enjoyed it, and it's a book I think I will go back and reread as I'm older and in different stages of life. I think part of the reason why this book spoke to me so much was we had 2 people pass away from my family in 2025, so that kind of kinship of loss. So if you're dealing with grief, tread tepidly, but yeah, I loved it. I can't say enough good things about it. So next was my first ARC read of 2026, All the Little Houses by May Cobb. It is a Source Landmarks book, and by the grace of God, somehow I ended up on their email list, and they email me books every once in a while, mostly thrillers. So this is a murder mystery, kind of thriller. It's set here in Texas. I'm in Texas, but it's set in an even smaller town in Texas outside of Dallas. And it just goes into how, like, when parents are bad, how that affects their children. And if you naturally want to look up to your parents and want to love and respect your parents. It's just kind of like what's hardwired into us as a society and as a human race. But what happens when they're not worthy of that respect or love or adoration because they are kind of twisted and evil? Let me let my dog out. This is all one take stuff. Please hold. So yeah, it was a really cool read, especially, I think it was the 2nd or 3rd chapter is from the murderer's point of view minutes after the murder. You don't know their identity, you don't know who they killed, so you keep bouncing back and forth between this new family that's arrived in town and this family that's been there a while. That is, the husband is old money, but the wife married into the money, and she was like of the lowest tax bracket, and so people still like to needle her with that detail. Nobody's really nice in this book, let me tell you. But it was edge of seat racing and like, who is the murderer and who's gonna be dead at the end of this book? Only reading will tell. Next was The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gilling. My Libby hold finally came in. I requested it to be put on hold, I think, when it came out, but thus is life. And I really enjoyed it. If you've been following me on some of my other platforms, you know I've kind of given up on the whole romantasy genre, and I've been leaning more into the sci-fi, epic, and high fantasies. But there was something about The Night and the Moth that wasn't so romance heavy. Like, the plot could not have progressed without the romance, but it was in this yearning way, and I think it allowed me to go on a self-discovery journey of I don't mind smut if it's aiding to the plot, but when the book is just solid smut or insta-lust, it's not for me. But this book, where they kind of disliked each other, they didn't trust each other, which would, I feel like, be how characters in this situation would react, and then earning each other's trust, and then yearning for each other because they trust each other, I felt like was a much more lovely plot line for me to read. So I think it's advertised as enemies to lovers. I wouldn't say that. I would say it's, I would say it's pretty natural. There is a severe distrust and distaste of each other at the beginning just because of their jobs, basically. So the main character, why can I not remember her name? I just want to call everyone Bartholomew, is a dreamer for the religion of this country, this land, and she takes like a bite and then dreams in water by not being able to breathe in the water, if you catch my drift. And then she's given 5 visions, and it's like negative or positive, like the flip of a coin, heads or tails, and it's like good omen, bad omen, good omen, bad omen. And then he's a knight for a king who doesn't quite trust the omens. So they go on this adventure, and I can't tell you any more without ruining the plot because it's kind of presented to you in the beginning, and I enjoyed it. And then I finally finished Age of Kings by Philip Quintrell, the Echo Saga book 6. I have been making my way through the world of Verita very slowly. I've been trying to savor and enjoy it. It is a book that I read not only on my e-reader, but I also listen to it. I absolutely love the narrator. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but the way he voices everyone. I know there's that meme reel going around where it's like when they didn't have a budget for like dual actors, voice actors for the POV, and the girl's voice is either trying to get really deep and be the bad, or the guy's voice is trying to get really high to be a girl, and it just doesn't sound right. I don't know what this voice actor does, but he sounds perfect for every person he's reading, and I absolutely love it. Like, it is so hard for me not to binge these books, and I don't want to fly through them and miss the little details because Philip is so good at the little details. So I am currently reading book 7, Knights of Eredor. I'm pretty sure I'm like a fourth of the way through it. Come on, Kindle. Tell me. Tell me. Yeah, I'm about almost a fourth of the way through. And it's so good. And I only have this and 2 more left and a novella, and then whatever Philip writes for A Time of Dragons. And I'm not ready. I'm not ready. If you want something that to me is very Tolkien without getting lost in the descriptions of the trees, this is this. It is that heart exhilarating, palpitating adventure. Like the same high I got playing with my friends in the backyard, pretending we were knights on a quest going to get a dragon. Like, you can insert yourself into this, and it's beautiful. Beautiful. Next, after reading The Night and the Moth, I decided to check out One Dark Window by Rachel Gilling. I read One Dark Window maybe in one sitting, and I did read The Night and the Moth in one day, but I had to get up and do things. But One Dark Window went by even quicker, and I was like, holy smokes, I love it, and it's a duology, so I'm going to read Two Twisted Crowns next. And I almost DNF'd to Twisted Crowns. It got really kind of slow in the middle, and I put it down, and I started reading another book, which I DNF'd, which I'll talk at the end of this, or speak of at the end of this, and I was like, no, I'm still thinking, I want to know what the resolution is to the Shepherd King duology. So I very quickly read it, almost skimmed read it, to be honest, and was happy with the resolution. So I'm really hoping that the second book to The Night and the Moth, I think it's The Knave and the Moonlight, is not like Two Twisted Crowns, because there were some parallelisms between The Night and the Moth and One Dark Window. Like the same female character, strength and weaknesses, the same male leading character, strength and weaknesses. So I'm hoping that the next one for The Night and the Moth is not as slow in the middle as the Shepherd King Two Twisted Crowns was. Let my dog back inside, and then we will talk about the one book I DNF'd and why I'm talking about it. Alright, I hate talking about books negatively, but this author that I DNF'd, I have read their books prior, and I have really enjoyed their work, so I am shocked that I DNF'd this book. I DNF'd Atlas 6. It was another library hold that finally came in, and we were snowed in for like a week, and so that's where I read the Shepherd King duology, and I tried to start the Atlas 6, and I got like halfway through the Atlas 6, and I didn't care. It was like how I said before, I don't really care for the smut, I really don't care for the instant lust, because it wasn't love type thing. It was chock full of that, and it was so similar to me, and this is only to me. You can have your, different opinions. Obviously, that's what makes the world such a beautiful place, that we can all coexist in harmony. Sometimes we all need a slap on the wrist, but is the book that wouldn't burn. The Library Trilogy by Mark Lawrence, to me, is the pinnacle of all library books and library magic systems, and the Atlas 6 was almost so similar to it and me in the whole setup of the library and this organization protecting the library, but then the Atlas 6 was just so like grunge, and I don't even know, like, I'm trying to like go through the thesaurus in my mind, not the thesaurus, yeah. No, the thesaurus is what tells you. I'm trying to go through the dictionary in my mind for the correct adjectives for the Atlas 6, and it's just, it wanted to be grungier, dirtier, sexier, rougher than the Library Trilogy, which I'm pretty sure the Atlas 6 books came out before the Library Trilogy. I'm not sure. I really should have looked that up before I said that, but whatever. For me, though, I read the Library Trilogy by Mark Lawrence first, and so the Atlas 6 reminded me of it so much, and it just wasn't my taste or really my cup of tea, so I just DNF'd it, and honestly, I feel really good about DNFing it, because if it's just not for you, it's okay to walk away from a book. I'm not going to post any other review regarding the Atlas 6 beyond that, and like I said, I love the author, Olivia Blake. I love One for My Enemy, and oh gosh, what's the other one? One for My Enemy. Oh crap, I'm gonna look. Masters of Death. I love Masters of Death and One for My Enemy, and I love her writing style. And the new one that came out, Gifted and Talented, it was okay, but Atlas 6 was a real miss for me. I think if maybe I had read it first and then read the Library Trilogy second, maybe I'd be coming to you with a different opinion, but that's the thing, you can't go back, so this is what it is. I'm so sorry if you're hearing my dog. She has not liked being snowed in for the week. I mean, we've let her out, but obviously she can't stay outside. Like, yesterday was 2 degrees Fahrenheit. Don't know what that is in Celsius. 2 degrees. Texas is not meant to be this cold. Anyhow, I really don't have a reading plan or TBR for 2026. I tried to make one in 2025 for 2026, did not stick to it all, didn't even get close. So I'm just taking small steps, like 1 physical book a month. And then one of my dear author friends just finished reading Howl's Moving Castle, and we were talking, and there are 2 more books in the series, Castle in Many Ways and Castle in the Air. And so I might, after I read the Knights of Arendor, I might read those, or I might just binge read the last 3 books and call it a month. I don't know yet. February is a shorter month, so we'll see what happens. And I don't even know what physical book I'm going to read for February, to be honest. Maybe I should let you guys pick on my Insta. I know, baby. I know. So that's it. Those are the books I read in January and the one I DNF'd. And I will see you somewhere else on the internet. Thanks, guys. Bye.